This law is going to start to replace 100% of the nation's lead pipes and service lines. As I was stated earlier, every child in Michigan and across America can turn on the faucet and drink clean water. 10 million homes have those lead pipes going in, and 400,000 schools. Tens of thousands of plumbers and pipe fitters are going to get to work in good paying jobs and help make the nation healthier. Folks, and there's an additional $10 billion nationwide to eliminate the dangerous forever chemical PFAS, which is an incredibly dangerous chemical. Look, this law is going to make high-speed internet affordable and available everywhere in America. Create jobs laying down that broadband line. Today, 14% of Michigan households don't have an internet subscription. Nearly 400,000 people in the state. A lot of places, there's no broadband infrastructure at all. This law is going to make high-speed internet affordable, available everywhere in Michigan. Urban, suburban, rural, going to create jobs laying down broadband lines. And in the 21st century in America, no parent should have to do what a lot of you did and they did in my state and all over America, should ever have to sit in a parking lot of a fast food restaurant again, just so their child can use the internet coming from that fast food restaurant. This is the United States of America, for God's sake. This law makes the most significant investment in roads and bridges in 70 years, fixing so many of those 1,200 bridges, 7,300 miles of roads here in Michigan that are in poor condition. So when a family drives the car you built right here, they'll be a whole lot safer, and they'll get there a hell of a lot faster. The law includes the most significant investment in passenger rail in the past 50 years. And again, in public transit, ever. I remember Mayor Duggan, who's not here, he's on a honeymoon. By the way, he's a good guy, I love Duggan. He helped pull this city out of a real tough spot. And he used to talk about, I found out, I didn't know it beforehand, that we didn't have, most of the jobs are outside the city. Significant 60% of the people who had those jobs outside the city didn't have vehicles to get out, didn't have cars to get outside the city. So we provided buses, transit, and guess what? Things began to change. Well, now we're going to change that again. Here in Michigan, that means replacing nearly 1/5 of the transit vehicles that are past their useful life. It means jobs for folks making the upgrades, good paying union jobs, jobs you can raise a family on, jobs you can't outsource. Folks, this law will modernize our airports, freight rail, our ports along the Great Lakes, making it easy for companies to get goods to market, reducing supply chain bottlenecks, and lowering costs for families. This law also builds up our resilience against extreme weather events. Here in Michigan, you know the cost of extreme weather. You remember the flooding this summer that shut down parts of I-75 and I-95, the power outages and tornado warnings. They were costing this state billions of dollars. Nationally, last year, listen to this, nationally last year, the extreme weather cost the United States of America $99 billion. $99 billion, from hurricanes in Louisiana to 20 inches of rain in the Northeast to fires in the West that literally consume more land than the entire state of New Jersey from Cape May to New York. That's how much is burned to the ground. This law builds back our bridges, our water systems, our power lines, our electric grid better and stronger. So few Americans will be flooded out of their homes or lose power for days and weeks at a time when a storm hits. This bill also rewards companies for paying a decent wage, for buying Americans, sourcing their products right here in America, not abroad. This will help the United States export clean energy technology, including electric vehicles made here in Michigan, to the entire world. There's so much more in this law, but most of all, this law does something truly historic. This law is going to help rebuild the backbone of this nation. When I ran for office, I said there were 3 reasons I wanted. One, to restore the soul of this country, decency. 2, to restore the backbone of this country. Working class and middle class folks, they're the ones that build America. And 3, to unite the country. To rebuild the economy from the bottom up and the middle out is the way I look at the world. The blue collar, this is a blue collar blueprint to rebuild America and leaves no one behind. The same goes for my Build Back Better plan. It's for our people. If you're paying, for example, $14,000 or $15,000 a year for child care, so you can work. A lot of families in America are doing that. My Build Back Better plan is going to make it a gigantic difference in your life because child care costs will be limited to 7% of your income. 7%. Look, my Build Back Better plan is going to provide access to better education. You know, one of the reasons we went ahead of the rest of the world at the turn of the 20th century is we're the first nation in the world that had universal education for 12 years, not based on any background or income. That pushed us ahead, but the rest of the world's caught up, and in many cases passed us. If we were sitting down for the first time today and saying we want a universal education in America, would anybody say we'd only make it 12 years to compete in the 21st century? I don't think so. So what we're doing, we're going to make sure that every 3- and 4-year-old in America has access to quality preschool. School, school, school. And by the way, all the data shows that'll increase by 56% the possibility of them going through all the way through 12 years of school and on to after school, after high school. And young people graduating from high school will have access to education beyond high school. We're increasing Pell Grants for providing apprenticeship programs. And we're going to make a huge difference for those 2 million women in America who can't get back into the workforce right now because they can't afford child care. Look, my Build Back Better plan is going to help solve that. If you're one of the millions of Americans who's paying around $1,000 a month for your insulin, for example, my Build Back Better plan will make sure that we change that too, because it means that no one will pay more than $35 a month for their insulin. And under my plan, we're going to lower costs for prescription drugs across the board, allowing them to negotiate prices, lowering the cost of daycare, elder care, housing, health care, prescription drugs. That's what the plan does.